The King R here, back once again with the game of the week with Madden Simulation. And surprise, surprise, Madden's on a roll. He's got 2 right so far. In a row, I should say. With correctly getting the Atlanta at New England, getting New England winning. It wasn't as close as Madden predicted, but it was more or less what you expect from Atlanta these days. But this week's game of the week features two more teams from the NFC South, which are still trying to identify and find themselves as we enter the midway point of the season. We got the Carolina Panthers versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And just like last week, we joined this game midway or early fourth quarter because my technology, like I said before, and I'll say again, you gotta love technology. But anyways, let this play out. See how we go. Carolina at the moment is up 41-27 on the Buccaneers, and I mean, I don't know. People say right now the NFC South is kind of competitive. Everyone keeps thinking that Tampa Bay, they have a chance. It seems like every year Tampa Bay is trying to make headway. They always, 1 year. I mean, this goes back to 2010. 2 head coaches ago? 3 head coaches ago? Go back to 2010. They finished the regular season 10-6 and missed the playoffs. Then they suck, and so on. But last year, 10-6 as well, I think? Maybe. Don't know, not looking up. But I mean, they fell short of making the playoffs. And so everyone's like, they're going to make it this year. They're this close of making the playoffs. Right now, they're 2-4. They're still trying to identify themselves. They blew a game last week against Buffalo. Their kicker couldn't kick if their life depended on it when they played against New England and several other teams. I mean, every now and then the defense is going to win, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to them the rest of the game. Who they play week 1? Oh, they didn't play week 1. That's right. They had a bye. They get to play Miami in a few weeks from now. They won their first game against Chicago. They took care of them 29-7. Went up to Minnesota. Oh, they lost 17-34. The Giants come downtown. They barely win with a field goal. But then they lost to New England, they lost against Arizona, and they lost to Buffalo at the last second. So, not so hot. But, when you take on divisional foe, it's all bets are off. And Carolina, I mean, they may be 4-3, but they should be better. I mean, it looked like they were back to form where they were 2 years ago when they went 15-1. I mean, well, you take on San Francisco week 1, yeah, you're going to win. Buffalo. 9-3. 9-3 against Buffalo. That's just telling you how good Buffalo is. Then they host New Orleans. Oh no, the Saints took care of business there, 34-13. And then you start seeing cracks in the armor with Carolina. But then they go up to New England and win by 3, 33-30. Then the following week they head up to Detroit. They win up there, 27-24. But then last week, Thursday night game, take on Philly, head-to-head close game. They lost by 5. Tough break. And then this past week, what the hell happened in Chicago? They lost 17-3. It give up 2 75-plus yard defensive touchdowns, 1 fumble and 1 interception, and you do nothing else. So, but that's one reason why I'm picking this game for my game of the week is these two teams need to identify themselves to figure out who's who and who's for real. Is Carolina back on the path of redemption where last year they just went downhill and never looked back up. And this year, hopefully, well, they won't be 15-1 like 2 years ago, but I mean, they can finish the season 13-3, I guess. But NFC South, I mean, just looking at all divisions, I mean, next week I'll go over my, since it'll be week 9, midway through the season, maybe update my predictions of who's going to win what and so on and so forth. But, I mean, best team in football right now, the Eagles. The Eagles, 6-1. I mean, Kansas City has dropped 2 in a row. Or did they win last week? No, they lost on Thursday night. That's right. In a close game and where, oh geez, Marshawn Lynch, what a freaking idiot. Was not on the play. I don't think I talked about this last week. But anyways, Oakland goes 3rd and 10. Decides to do a QB design run. Keeper. David Carr. Not there. I forget now. Anyways, Carr runs up the middle, bumps into his own guy, held up. He whistle blows, he stopped, but then some extra hitting, pushing and shoving. And, not quite a brawl takes place, but, and here comes Marshawn Lynch running off the sideline. He not even involved in the play. He's going to get penalized no matter what for unsportsmanlike. But then he grabs a referee. The referee throws another play for that, tosses him out of the game. You can't touch the referee like that. And he gets a 1-game suspension. He wants to appeal it. Didn't win the appeal. You know what he should do? He should go to court then. Fight it. Just like Ezekiel Elliott, which is so freaking ridiculous. I don't even want to talk about that anymore. He's suspended. No, he's not anymore. He's suspended. No, he's not. And what happens? He gets over 200 yards, purpose yards against San Francisco, 2 touchdowns. So you can't tell me the judge doesn't have him on his fantasy team. But some other NFL news going around. I mean, Pittsburgh. I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Was it Martellus? No, Martavis. Martavis Bryant. That's who. He's not happy of his situation in Pittsburgh because of all the other drama queens up there. I mean, you got, when you're the 4th B of the Killer Bees, you're not Ben, Bell, or Brown, no one cares about you. And then when you have another rookie that doesn't have a B in his name, well, you're not a Killer Bee anymore. He's demanding a trade out. Steelers say, no, we're not trading him. We might need him. Well, he's not playing this Sunday, so why do you need him? I mean, obviously, sometimes you don't want to give the baby his bottle because then, everyone's going to give in to him. And tell him to suck it when the offseason comes, and you know what? Then maybe we'll give you up. But, in my mind, there wasn't much that has happened this past week. I mean, some more injuries. Injury alert. Big names. Joe Thomas, tackle for the Cleveland Browns. Earlier this season, he played through his 10,000th snap. Never missed a snap. Never missed a down. Never missed an offensive play or special teams play. I don't know about that if he's on the special teams, but anytime that he's supposed to be in the lineup for a snap, he never missed it. From day one when he was drafted 3rd overall, as he was out fishing, and the Browns decided to draft him in 07, he shows up and he never, ever missed a snap. And here we go. Breaks his arm, tears his arm, his bicep, and he's done. He's done for the season. First career, at least NFL career injury, and it's like what an amazing, incredible streak. However you want to look at it. I mean, yes, it's impressive, but I don't know in my book how impressive it is. I really don't know. I mean, for the position he plays and the caliber you have to play at, yes, I get it. And especially for the Browns, you're being bull rushed every time. But he is considered one of the best left tackles, I think. I think he's a left tackle in the NFL history. And so the question comes down when he retires, is he Hall of Fame worthy? Well, we all know apparently Jerry Kramer from the 1960 Packers, he's not Hall of Fame worthy, but at least he has a shot this year. Jerry Kramer has a shot with the Veterans Committee. I hope he gets in. But when it comes to offensive players, you don't see them getting the Hall of Fame that often or so on and so forth. But you know what? If it's not for them, the Joe Montanas, the Brett Favres, the Jerry Rice, the Emmitt Smiths, Walter Paytons, Don Hudson's, whatever, if that offensive line would not protect the quarterback or make holes for their running back, those players wouldn't be as good as they are because they wouldn't get the ball. The quarterback would be stopped. The quarterback would be sacked. The running back would lose yards. Those are your unsung heroes. That's why last year, all that talk that the Dallas Cowboys front five should get MVP. Why not? Why not? Give it to them. I mean, they're your unsung heroes. Those are the ones. Those are those guys. If you have a crappy front five, you're not going to win. You're not going to move the ball. You're not going to do nothing. I mean, like in Green Bay, when they keep shuffling the offensive line around, I mean, at least Aaron Rodgers could have made it work before he got broken collarbone. He made it work because he was a mobile quarterback. If you're not a mobile quarterback with a mash unit front five, then you can't do anything. There's another fun stat with that. I read somewhere headline saying that the all-injured reserve team would win the Super Bowl every single year, at least this year. I mean, look who's all on IR. You have Aaron Rodgers, you have J.J. Watt, you have Odell Beckham, you have Joe Thomas. Who else? There's lots of other names, easily. And then Dallas's kicker last week, Dan Bailey. Forget what happened to him. I think it was a hamstring or something. He gets hurt. And so Dallas has to use, I think, one of their safeties to do kickoffs and extra points. Here we go. And they signed Mike Nugent off of free agency to help out. Let's see what this article says. Low time. But anyways, how's this? Oh, hey, Cam Newton, complete pass. How's the game going right now? We got, highlight. Christian McCaffrey, yeah. We got 7 minutes left. Carolina's up by 7. Ooh. Oh, let's see. Mike Nugent tried out for Washington, but he gets signed by Dallas. Bailey will be out of injury with a right groin. Ooh. Don't know how long, but at least you have a kicker now. You're not using your safety. Let's see. Emergency kicker, Jeff Heath, one of the starting safeties when Bailey couldn't go after 2 points after a kick and 2 kickoffs. Heath became the first non-kicker or punter since 1980 to make him more than 1 point after touchdown in a game, getting the first one on a ricochet. Yeah, that's right. It bounced off the right goalpost, which was funny. But at least, that comes see, there's your perfect example. If they take my rule for overtime, if the 10, 15 minutes of overtime in regular season runs out and still tied, you send out your non-kickers to go out there and start kicking field goals. And right there, at least Dallas would be ready and prepared. But I just feel like there hasn't been that much big news this week. Oh, well, let's see. New England is reporting Hightower's out for the season. You have the QB, not controversy, but who's going to start in Cleveland? Is it Deshaun Kaiser? Is it going to be Chris Hogan? Is it going to be the other guy? Who knows? And it's just ridiculous. And if you look at who,
yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as I can do it.
Who
it's not that big of a deal to
Cleveland has passed up at quarterback all these years. I mean, it's I really don't know what to say. In all honesty, I really don't know what to say. But one last thing before we get to run down of the games. I mean, last week was very predictable. I mean, very, very predictable who was going to win, except for, in my mind, the only really upset was Chicago over Carolina. Oakland over KC, I don't know. I mean, that's division rival. When it's division rival, anyone can win. But that's the only upset was Chicago over Carolina. And then the Sunday night game, Atlanta, New England. Midway through the second quarter and into the second half, fog started rolling in. I mean, nothing like the Fog Bowl of the 1988-89 divisional game between the Bears and the Eagles. New Year's Day, or New Year's Eve, where fog just started rolling in off of Lake Michigan and you couldn't see crap. And the funny thing was, Randall Cunningham had over 400 yards passing, obviously before the fog rolled in.
Defense likely bringing pressure here. 3rd and goal from the 2. Yeah. And he'll maybe get back to the line of
anyways, let's look down who's playing who this week. We got the Thursday night matchup, Miami at Baltimore. I mean, Jay Cutler, he's hurt. Matt Moore's going to start now. Yay! Baltimore, this is a tough one. I'm pretty sure Baltimore's going to lose tonight. Minnesota versus Cleveland in jolly old England. That was the one game I was going to think about simulating, but I couldn't find the Tottenham's or the stadium that they were going to play in London. If it's there, I just couldn't find it. But otherwise, maybe this is what Cleveland needs. They can't win in U.S. soil. They can win overseas. Oakland versus Buffalo. Indianapolis versus Cincinnati. L.A. Chargers versus New England. Chicago versus New Orleans. Atlanta versus the New York Jets. San Francisco versus the Philadelphia. Carolina versus Tampa Bay, which is my game of the weekend. Carolina is apparently up by 10 with about 3.5 minutes left in the game. Houston at Seattle. That could be a good one. See how Deshaun Watson does against that Seattle's defense. Dallas at Washington. Sunday night game. Pittsburgh at Detroit. And last but not least, Monday Night Football. Denver at Kansas City. Kansas City has lost 2 in a row and trying to bounce back, trying to get back to winning form, so we can have that Kansas City Philadelphia Super Bowl. Right. But some of these are head scratchers. Some of these are some. I mean, Miami Baltimore Thursday night. Baltimore, they started off strong. They started 2-0, and then they stumbled. They won a game. Then they lost or something along those lines. They won 2, beat the 2 teams from Ohio, Cincinnati and Cleveland. Lost to Jacksonville 44-7. Lost to Pittsburgh 26-9. Just embarrassing. Then they beat Oakland in Oakland. Then they lost to Chicago and they lost to Minnesota. So don't know what type of team they are. Just don't know. Miami, on the other hand, I think now that Jay Cutler is no longer their starting quarterback at the moment, and he really should have never came out of retirement. He should have just took the broadcasting job and went with it. they're still trying to find it. They won against the Chargers week 2 because they had a bye thanks to the Hurricanes in Florida. Then they lost to the Jets 26. They were shut out to New Orleans, but now they've won 3 in a row. They beat Tennessee, they beat Atlanta, and then they beat the Jets again. So they're even against the Jets this season.
And the Panthers
But
bringing their nickel set as they try to defend here on 3rd down.
it's a tough one to think who's going to win. I'm hoping for a good matchup, good game. Minnesota, Cleveland. Oh my God, I'm pretty sure Minnesota's going to win this one. Doesn't matter who plays quarterback. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater, good news for him. He's back practicing. Sam Bradford, he's what a surprise. Cleveland, who knows who's going to start quarterback? No more Joe Thomas, 0-7. Some are saying, Green Bay will give Cleveland their first win. Well, I hope not. Maybe not their first win, but we'll see. Oakland, Buffalo. Here's another real deal. Real deal on the line. Who's for real? Is Oakland back to where they want to be after they got that win, or is Buffalo on the warpath and try and make it to the playoffs for the first time since '99? I like Buffalo in that one. Cincinnati, Indianapolis, more of who's going to get a top 5 draft pick. I got to go with Cincinnati in that one. LA, the Chargers against New England.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
I got to go with the Patriots in that one because, Chargers have been on a roll. I always call them the best, worst team in the NFL because they just find ways to lose, just like Detroit. They started the season 0-4, but have won 3 in a row against the Giants, against Oakland, and against Denver. If they can win 4 in a row, take something over, take care of business in New England, that'd be phenomenal. But I don't know. Chicago, New Orleans. I don't think we're going to see the same Chicago. New Orleans, this might be one of those easy pick-ems in New Orleans since they're the home team. But who knows? Atlanta, the Jets. Is that no? That. Oh no, that yeah. You know what? Yes. I'll say that in a second. That
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here.
You know what? Atlanta versus the New York Jets. That is my upset of the week. I'm going with the Jets over Atlanta because the only teams Atlanta has beat so far are the 3 teams they played in the NFC North: the Bears, the Lions, and the Packers. And they've lost to the other 3 AFC East teams: the Patriots, the Bills, and the Dolphins. To make it 4 in a row against the AFC East, go 0-4. I think the Jets, they'll come over these certain obstacles that the Jets have come the last few weeks. They're going to get this done. And here's my guarantee of the week: Philly over San Francisco. If the Cowboys can do that to San Fran, I can only imagine what the Phillies can do to San Fran. This game, at the moment, Carolina's up 44-34 with a $1:45 left. And Tampa Bay still has all 3 timeouts, so there's a possibility. I don't know. I just don't. In all honesty, I have to say Tampa Bay. I know they're not going to, spoiler alert, they're not going to win this one. Man doesn't like it. But I think since Tampa Bay is a home team, I think they can pull it off. They can pull off the victory. Houston, Seattle. We'll see which. Seattle's the home team, the 12th man. Houston is semi on the roll, I think. Are they? They beat the Browns. They took. Let's see. They've lost 1. So if they keep that going, they're going to lose. And then they play Indianapolis the following week. That makes sense. They'll win. And they're at LA. the Rams. That's a loss. Then they play Arizona, win. Baltimore, who knows? But I think that might be a good one. Dallas, Washington, that's always a good one. NFC East teams going at it. Pittsburgh, Detroit. Depends on which Detroit team shows up. Pittsburgh is 5-2, and I'm sure they're at where they want to be. Detroit, they're 3-3 in that wide open NFC North. I mean, all 4 teams in the NFC North, they have a chance to win it. Even with an Aaron Rodgers-less Packers, and especially how the Packers played last week, holding Hundley back, there's still a possibility. And then Monday night, Denver at Kansas City. Good old AFC West showdown. You know, I gotta stick with my Chiefs. So this week we got some good games, not some pushovers. Sunday night actually looks like it could be a good one. I think Detroit has the ability to pull the upset. That was my original upset of the week, but who knows? Who knows?
Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been terrific so far.
But some good games. And what we got here? Oh, Carolina had to punt the ball. Ball is down at Tampa Bay's 5-yard line. So $1:27 left in the game. Tampa Bay with no timeouts because they used them all up. Let's see if Tampa Bay, Jameis Winston can pull this huge comeback. Only time will tell. So come on. All right.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score.
Well, something or other.
The only thing that matters is scoring quickly.
Bamford, Sanford. So, yeah. Tough. When you are down by 10 with $1.50 left and no timeouts and you need 10 points.
They got 18 yards out of
how?
it, and it gets them a new set of downs.
So it depends on who you have at quarterback. I mean, I would take Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, even Brett Favre, even Eli Manning, Phil Rivers, Drew Brees. I trust those men. But there's the young quarterbacks, you know, Jameis Winston, Carson Wentz. Cam Newton, I wouldn't say he's young anymore. Has been in the league for 6-7 years now. So what we got? 2nd and 10 with the $1:08. Come on, Jameis Winston. Prove yourself that you're going to be an elite quarterback somewhere down the road. Look at all that time he's got in the pocket. Throws it. Who is he throwing it to? If they threw it short or overthrowing it?
Now it's third. Tried to go for the big one there on
now you're 3rd and 10. You completed what? 1st or 2nd down. You moved that ball like that. Now you whiffed it the last 2 times. You got a minute still. You got plenty of time. You get touchdown in the next 2-3 plays, and then go for the onside kick, recover that, and get in field goal range. Or even get in field goal range now. You need 10 points. Oh, here comes it. Oh, he overthrows his target. No. Oh, well. Oh, well. Shucky darns. Here we go. Game's on the line. 4th and 10. You need a first down here, Jameis. You need this. This is your career. Your career's on the line right now. Not entirely. 4 wide. Takes a snap. Under pressure. Throws it. Oh, overthrew his guy. That's the game. That is the game. You overthrew your target. Carolina's going to win. No one's going to remember who you are. I don't know how healthy Luke Kuechly is. I know he got beat up 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. But that's going to be the game. Carolina holds on. They beat Tampa Bay. 44-34. So better luck next time, Tampa Bay. Madden, if you get this right, that's 3 in a row. And what would that improve your record to? 1, 2, 3,
They can bottle
4.
this
1,
and
2,
carry
3,
it
4,
That's
5.
an
You're almost at
offensive
500.
Just don't think you can do
You're
anything wrong.
3
Whatever
and
you call a
5.
run,
Get this
it's
right,
all
you're
gonna
going
work.
to be
That's
4 and
called being in the
5.
zone.
But that'll do it for this week. Hopefully, either we keep this same format or I go back the way it was. It just all depends how things work out. So, thanks for watching. Madden, you're on the clock. Let's see if your accuracy continues and you can get back to 500, and maybe you're not just a coin flip away from seeing who's right and who's wrong. So, until next time, thanks for watching, and let's enjoy some football.
Brandon Gaudin, you've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Tampa.